Number 8, respect. Valuing and regarding another highly, treating another as important, honoring another, conveying great worth.
God showed us respect when we were completely undeserving by giving his son for us. We hadn't earned it, we didn't deserve it, and he saw us as valuable. He regarded us very highly. He gave the greatest gift that he could to show that he respected us. In Christ's ministry here on earth, he ignored social prejudice. He was a friend and a lover and a respecter of all people of all types. And I would say that women, in the lives of our husbands, this is a big one. For most men, and I know for Hans, this is probably one of his largest desires. It stays pretty much number one for him. It is very, very important. And I would say that we have been given a powerful position to partner with God in this, where we can either tear down our homes or we can build them up. And I will tell you that there are times where his behavior may not be very respectable. It may be hard for me to find, what can I possibly respect here? But I need to remember, like you said about encouragement, his position, who God says he is, that God values him. God sees him as high enough to give his own son to die for him. Certainly, I can find some respect in that. And Christ didn't wait until he was ready to turn his life over or to do the right thing before he was respected. And sometimes that's my temptation as a woman. Well, if he would do X, Y, Z, then maybe I could respect him more. That's not how it works. That's not the order that it goes in. And so I would encourage you, men and women, in a way that we can do this. One of the things that I feel respected by you is that he includes me in decisions. We have a marriage where I choose to be submissive because God has asked me to be submissive because I choose to trust Christ. But I have a husband who says, I care about what you think. And God's placed us together, and I want to know what you think in this situation, and I want to pray about this together. That makes me feel very valued and respected in our marriage relationship.
Yeah, that's good. And I'll just share that this is a big one for a lot of guys. It's a huge one for me. And let me tell you why it's a huge one for me is because growing up, I didn't get a whole lot of this. I mean, whenever I was growing up, my dad and I, unfortunately, did not have a really good relationship. And frequently, we'd get into arguments and shouting matches, and I felt very, very disrespected. In fact, there were times where he would, poke his finger in my chest. And I still, to this day, if somebody even points their finger at me, I just want to, you want some of me? It's just this thing that was just ingrained in me. And so, I missed this as a child largely. And so this kind of rises to the top for me, and she knows this. We've talked a lot about this, that I have a really high desire for respect. And I think this is important in the journey of coming to know your spouse, to kind of know how they've been loved in the past and how they've not been loved in the past. Because what I want to share is that one of the most significant ways that you can love your spouse is to love them in a way that they've missed in the past. One of the most significant ways that you can love your spouse is to love them in a way that they've missed. And so when Star loves me and when she respects me, like when I'm standing up here, like one of the reasons that I can stand up here and speak before you in front of this large crowd is because I feel her gaze, her respectful gaze on me. And it just makes me want to stick my chest out and say, yeah, I'm the man. And I feel it. Like I know that she respects me, and it gives me so much confidence that I didn't used to have. And so we need to understand like where our spouses have missed this type of love in the past. And we need to see that as an opportunity to love them significantly, because one of the most significant ways that you can love them is to love them in a way that they've missed. Now, here's the opposite of that. One of the most significant ways that you can hurt your spouse is to hurt them in a way that they've missed in the past. Like, unfortunately, it doesn't take much when she shows me just the itsy bitsy tiny bit of disrespect, and I tend to get angry. I mean, she tells me to lower my voice because the kids are sleeping upstairs. I'm just like, it's just, it's like, it's just crazy. So we need to know each other this intimately so that we can know what's going to meet the mark for them. Does that make sense? Yeah. With her, she grew up in a home where she had a dictator of a father, and he was very, very harsh towards her. And so one of the most significant ways that I can love her is to be gentle towards her. She missed having a loving, caring, tender warrior as a father. And so the one thing that I can bring to the table is to be strong, but to be gentle and tender with her.